Welcome to Inspired for More podcast. I am so happy you're here. My name is Alexandra Sauvé, and I embarked on a crazy journey of self-discovery over a decade ago. I have built and I continue to grow my multi-seven-figure sales organization, and I am insanely passionate about stepping into the very best version of ourselves and letting go of stories that no longer serve us. This podcast is long overdue for me to share with those seeking to expand their life to the next level in health, relationship, career, finances, and spirituality. If you feel any bit inspired by anything in this intro or any episodes to come, just know, if you can be inspired, you are actually meant to inspire others. Now let's dive into an episode. All right, well, welcome. And today is a super exciting day here on Inspired for More because I have not only a dear friend of mine who was not a dear friend of mine at once upon a time. I actually heard her the way that I'm going to be showcasing her today on today's show. But most of all, her name is Heidi Baker. She is a manifestation coach. She is my personal manifestation coach that I discovered a couple of years ago. And I will tell you guys, I had no idea what manifestation was, even though she tells me that I was a great manifester prior to even knowing what manifestation was. I had done vision movies and vision boards for years on end, but there were certain things about her technique that really brought things to the next level for me. And I hope that today's call inspires you to take more action in your life. And of course, once you're inspired, go out there and inspire some more people. So I'm just going to go out there, Heidi, and just kind of go through your bio real quick, just to make this really official. So Heidi Baker is a manifestation coach whose unique method she calls running your energy. You guys, she's going to run her energy for us. It's going to be amazing. Has helped clients worldwide obtain what they truly desire. A true believer that when you change how you think, anything becomes possible. Heidi teaches her clients on how to get what they want out of work, life, finances, and even romance. Woo-hoo. She's brought her characteristics of enthusiasm and authenticity to us today to share her secrets on how to manifest abundance. Please join me in welcoming me, Heidi Baker. Okay, my friend, here we are. Yay. Here we are. And I'm so thrilled because you're actually the first guest on our podcast. I don't know if you know that.
Today, I feel so honored. I love it.
And I've got all this week, a lot of recordings coming up with a lot of guests, but you're my very first guest. So I'm very honored that you said yes.
Oh, of course. You're kidding me? I adore you. It's so funny. We start off as it was like this business relationship. I'm like, I really like her a lot.
it's so likewise, the energy was so matched on. And one of the things that I really want people on the show to hear is sometimes they feel so woohoo, I'm a believer. I have strong faith. And then you would think that manifestation is part of this dark world. And I really want to reassure people that manifestation is totally, we're always manifesting it all the time. And Heidi's going to get into that. And it's totally all about light and love. Okay. All light and love. And I'm going to keep it on that. Yes. But if you can go into details, Heidi, on how do you, what is manifestation really? What is it really?
Okay. So I love that you brought up the fact that, people are worried that it's all woo woo and it doesn't make sense. And this is just a bunch of hooey. I will tell you, there is scientific data behind this. Cause look, I come from a family where I have a medical background. My dad's medical. So for me, if it doesn't make sense logically, then I don't buy it. So that's when I fell into it. So let's step back. Let's go back to, I love your question. What is manifesting? Very basic. So if you look it up in the dictionary, it does not match the way we use it today. Manifesting is a much more kind of it's about literally manifesting something, putting something on a manifest, that you're listing things up, which kind of leads toward it. But what we talk about is kind of taking our thoughts and turning them into reality, which again goes woo-woo, right? Oh, that's not possible. So what's really interesting is that we all think manifesting is something that's other than us. It's outside of us. It's something that we do to make things happen when we want it to happen. And I am happy and sad to tell you that we are manifesting every minute of every day. Every minute of every day. And let me give you a good example. So have you ever run into someone that you've been thinking about and you hadn't seen them forever, and all of a sudden, there they are? A good example. Tell the story about when before we got on the call, we talked about your brand new dog and the puppy, the little animal, the stuffed toy that the dog was playing with.
So this is a crazy story about manifestation. Of course, she was just saying we manifest all the time. And all the time. February 2022, prior to Valentine's Day, I was at Walmart randomly and I wanted to buy my kids a plush toy, and I ran into this gray golden doodle. And I always knew my daughter's been asking for a golden doodle for years. And I just thought, you know what, right now we're running businesses out of our house. We've got 4 kids living under the roof. It's not the most, we travel a lot. It's not the most ideal time for a dog. But when I saw the plush toy, I thought my girls are going to be so happy to get a plush toy. And when I saw it, I just felt like tremendous love. And that was one thing that you really emphasized in my life, Heidi, when I worked with you, like really being all about like feeling good, feeling good.
Yes.
Even like if I'm standing in the aisle at Walmart and I'm looking at something that I love and appreciate, I'm just going to take time to appreciate and savor that moment of feeling good. And I actually remember in that moment when I picked up the plush doll, I was like, I think it's so adorable. I wonder if they make gray golden doodles. And it was like a thought, right? It was like a thought. It was a moment.
It wasn't just a thought. It was a thought, and it felt really good.
It felt really good. It felt aligned. Right. So when it's all in alignment, things start to flow. Right. So anyways, I was literally sharing the story with Heidi before, and I was like, then the dog just kind of went away. Right. I got the dog. Long story short, come 5-6 months later, I get a random phone call out of nowhere. I'm about to pack up for a global conference, and I get a random phone call, and this guy goes, I know you were looking for mini doodles, but I have blue merle. And I said, what's blue merle? And he says, gray golden doodle. Well, fun fact, you guys, like I didn't even actually search for the dog. The dog was randomly searched by my 8-year-old, who randomly got the guy to call me and follow up with me. So it's a long story, but all this to say,
when everything just aligns for you perfectly. That's the crazy thing, is that we think manifesting is something that we have to sit down and meditate and close our eyes and ask the universe. No, we're doing it all the time. And the sad part about it is that we're doing it all the time, and we're doing it for both good and bad stuff. You ever wake up and have to wake up on the wrong side of the bed? You've heard that before, right? You have one of those days where everything that could go wrong goes wrong. I mean, like everything. I'm sorry to say, but you manifested that. You brought it into your world because you're like, well, what else can go wrong? Don't ask the universe that question. Don't ask that question. You will find out. It will show up for you, because what we were talking about before with the alignment is all of us think that, okay, I just need to be clear. Clarity is very important. Clarity is super important. Most people are not clear enough. We laugh about this. Most people will tell me, I want to tell me what they want. People come to me and say, I want a nice guy. I'm like, okay, do you know a little bit more than that? Well, I mean, I want a nice guy. I want him to be at this age, and, I want him to like sports or whatever. Right. And I'm like, well, I could tell you more. In ordering my cup of coffee for Starbucks, I could tell you I want it to be a venti. I want it to be an iced latte that's caffeinated with soy milk and no sweeteners. That's 6 things I can tell you about a stupid cup of coffee. You should be able to tell me 16, if not 60 things about whatever it is you're asking for. So it starts off with what you want here. But the funny thing is, the more detailed and granular you get, is it gets more emotional. Do you ever notice, like, if someone goes, oh yeah, I'd like to have a piece of chocolate cake, you're like, okay, sounds good. But if I say, I'd like a piece of chocolate cake that has dark chocolate ganache on the top with chocolate chips, and it's dusted with the best tasting little pieces of chocolate, as well as inside it's got raspberry. Can you see how your mouth is starting to water? Because and your body's reacting, because the more detail, the better it is. Now, we want your body to get involved. We want you to get in alignment. I always talk about having your head and your heart in the same place. And the funny thing is, we don't realize, but most of the time we're not in alignment. And the best way to think about it is, when you say you want something, but then in the back of your mind, you're asking for too much. Good example. The lottery we just had was $1 billion lottery. Before it went out, it was started at $1 billion at the beginning of the week. It was $1.9 billion, right?
Oh my gosh.
And it was so funny, because my husband and I had a conversation about it. And it's one of those, okay, I want everybody who's listening right now, take a second. And I want you to feel into having just won $1.9 billion, with a B, $billion. How does that feel? Does it feel like for me, it's still, I am still practicing it. It kind of blows me over. Like, I kind of go numb. I can't. What about you? What happens with you?
Yeah.
Here's a check for $1.9 billion.
I feel the same way as I used to feel about thinking about earning 6 figures a month. Remember those days?
Exactly. And it seems so big, you can't even comprehend it. I can't put the details to it. I can't see the details, like my coffee. I can't say, oh, well, with the 1.9 billion, so I'm going to give half of that to the government, and then I'm going to reach out to this person, and they're going to manage this part. I'm going to buy these houses and do this. I can't see the details in it. So for me, my body just goes, I don't know what to do. Where my head's like, I want it. My body's like, oh, too much, overflow. I can't. So this is the disconnect, You say in your head, I want the best guy on the planet who's going to love me and take good care of me and be a part of my world and just adore me. I'm going to feel amazing. And then in your heart, if you've had your heart broken, you've had people hurt you in the past, you're like, oh no, but what? Wait, if he hurts me, but I'm not sure. I don't know if I should let him in. So you've got this, I call it the lock, it's not a lock and key. You've got square peg round hole syndrome. Right. You're trying to just make it fit and it won't fit because your head's saying something. And we all think, well, but I thought about it. I know what I want in my head. But if your heart isn't in alignment with it, you're going to energetically, this is where we go a little woo-woo, but go with me because there's science behind this. Energetically, you're going to push it away. So the crazy thing is this. So I'm going to go sciencey for a second. For all you people who think I'm a little too woo-woo, let's go science. Okay. So you ever see when they do a test on people to make sure that they're thinking properly? It's called an EEG, and it's measuring the electrical energy in someone's brain. Basically, you've got all those little dots all over your head and they're actually measuring the brain waves, right? And we do this and we make sure that someone's not brain dead, or just to see how we're doing. So our brain is electrical energy. But if we measure emotions, those are actually magnetic energy. And believe it or not, they are measurable. There was a scientist that actually measured emotions, the magnetic energy coming through emotions, like major severe emotions, through a metal wall. He could actually measure it. So this is the crazy thing. We think because I feel it, it has no value in the society we live in. If you don't have a good degree because you can't think properly, and if you don't have the ability to think something through right, then you're going to make a poor choice. And it's funny because we have gut instincts, which have caused us to survive for millennia. This gut instinct, it's funny, we all think, do you think that we think first or we feel first?
We feel.
What would you say?
We feel first.
Yes.
Somebody walks in a room, you feel
Bingo.
energy. Yeah.
Oh, you feel first. And the funniest is they've actually done scientific experiments to prove that the feeling happens, which causes the thought. Whereas we in this society, if it doesn't happen above the neck and below the ears, it has no value. Everything else we kind of push down. Don't feel it. Don't feel it. Don't feel it. And the problem is that we think, I'm going to think it through. I'm going to think. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I watched The Secret and I was like, I'm going to think myself into what I want. And I was wondering why it didn't work. And it wasn't until I created this whole running your energy thing where I could get my body on board and I could feel like, oh my gosh, I just won $1.9 billion. Oh my gosh, I have to literally get the body in alignment. And when the two come together, the electrical and the magnetic, electric from the brain, magnetic from the emotions, they come together and they actually, now they match, and you create something called electromagnetic energy. And when it's in alignment, guess what? Here we go, science on you. You can measure that thing 7 meters from the body.
Wow.
Measure. By the way, that doesn't mean it disappears at 7 meters. It means it's just not measurable to our tools. So if you talk about wanting to draw something in, you then become a magnet to it. Yes, your brain starts looking for whatever it is you want, but magnetically you draw it to yourself. Right. Magnetically, when you're in alignment, all of a sudden people will walk up to you and go, what do? You seem like amazing. I just want to talk to you, because your head and heart aligned, because so many of us are doing this square peg round hole.
Mm-hmm.
So manifesting is so much more than just woo-woo. Yeah.
It so is. And you mentioned The Secret. And I think that so many people are listening, obviously are familiar with The Secret. And I think that we all come to that same dead end when we start to discover The Secret, which was like, I think I was even more positive before I learned The Secret. And then I became aware of my negative thoughts. And I was like, don't think those negative thoughts. Don't think those negative thoughts. But saying to myself, don't think those negative thoughts is actually a negative thought and a negative vibration. So it's like a repetitive bad circle.
Well, the hardest part that I found with the Secret was, they'd say, ask for what you want, but they don't get really clear about. Quite often we're asking what we think is a want, it's actually a don't want. And we've talked about this. I was not well for a long time. And I used to say, I want to be well. It sounds like a want, but it had the energy of, because I don't want to be sick. Because I don't want to be sick, because I'm sick right now. And the funniest thing is, as soon as I changed it around to, it took me a while to figure this out. And my mantra became, my body can do what I want, when I want, where I want, how I want, as strong as I want, as fast as I want. Oh my gosh, that's a totally different energy than I want to be well.
Totally.
And that's the thing. That's the problem with The Secret, is it just gives you a little nugget. And it's funny because some people, like, you're an amazing manifestor. I just think it was so funny that you didn't realize you were before, with all the stuff you've drawn in. And everybody manifests, but it's the fact that we do it randomly. We don't understand that until we can actually harness all of this amazing energy that's just waiting to be used with our emotions, we are always hitting our head against the wall. We're looking for clients, and all of a sudden they come and they bounce off. They bounce off because energetically, with our emotions, we're pushing them away. We may want them in our head, but in our heart, we're like, they're going to say no. They're going to tell us no. They're going to tell us we're crazy. And it's one of those, until we're in alignment. This is why it's so much harder to do business, or so much harder to find someone we love, or so much harder to be in alignment with having a body we love, because there's a lot of different reasons that we protect ourselves from being physically fit or healthy or looking beautiful. There's all these things that we don't even know we're doing, because this is a core level defend and protect thing that we have from hundreds of years ago.
Right. I love that. And I think that it's just going back to the affirmations. I think it's so powerful, because we all have affirmations, and it'll be like, for me, one of my powerful affirmations is the older I get, the younger I look and feel. The older I get, the younger I look and feel. And so the more that I put myself in that sphere, the more I feel myself getting younger and feeling healthier and more vibrant. Right. I have, and like we always say, the most powerful things that you can do is the words after you say I am, but it's all about feeling. And that's one of the main things that I loved learning from you, is the really honing in on how I feel when I'm saying this, because there's nothing you could say mantras and affirmations all day long, but if you're not feeling it, you say, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, I earn 6 figures, I have a prosperous business, and not feel it, you're never going to get it. So, I think, how do people go from that, just having it a thought, to actually creating that alignment?
Well, the hard part is getting comfortable with these emotions. Was it hard for you in the beginning to get comfortable with this, feeling good emotion? I think because when I work with you, like I literally like give you little nibbles at a time of feeling good, because it's really scary for people to feel good all the time. We feel like there's something wrong with it, to lean into it. Was it difficult for you to, like, I felt like when you started to run your energy, it was easier for you than most people.
Yeah, it felt like you gave me permission to feel good, because I think that we live in a world where we always try to find, people don't really like happy people that are happy all the time, right? Yeah. They don't like, they want to find the negative, or want to talk about something terrible that's happening in your life. So I think that I didn't allow myself to be that overly positive person, or to always look for the good in places, because I would want to be, of course, liked. We all have the desire to, of course,
accept it. Well, there's a whole reason behind that, because you go back a couple centuries, if you weren't liked, you got thrown out of the tribe and you died. Right. So this is a core level fear.
So there's something deep inside there that I was trying to protect. But I found, after working with you, it actually gave me permission to start living out loud and really feel good, and give other people permission to feel good. So if anything, it just you definitely unlocked that door for me. And the first time that I heard you, I was like, wow, it was like merging all the things that I had learned from being a UPW walk on fire girl, to actually finding the nuts and bolts to how it worked, and having the accountability every week. Because when we go back to the clarity, it's like, I didn't necessarily have clarity. Like when Heidi and I started working together, I knew that I was ready to start a new challenge. Like I felt like I had kind of tapped out where I was living and the circumstances where I was, and I definitely wanted to change. And I actually forgot that I put in a vision movie that I wanted a house in Florida. And when her and I started working together, I started to say, there's something about being in a warm weather, and we started to look at different options, and like, how does that feel? And how does this feel? And just being in those sessions and just sitting in the feeling for 10, 15 minutes, or celebrating the wins, it was such a great space to be in. So I found there was two elements. You gave me permission to start celebrating more, and you gave me the awareness to start celebrating even little things, like the freaking smallest things. Like, oh my gosh, I just found whatever water on sale. I don't know, whatever, the most random thing, but just believing that the universe is conspiring, like, in an immense way to make me the happiest and most joyful, most fulfilled, most happy, most healthy person on the planet.
I mean, and all the time, it's one of those things where, look, things happen in life. They happen to me as well. I have issues in my life, and I have a choice in that moment, as does everyone listening, to decide, is it something that's happening for me or to me? I have a child who's not well. So I constantly flip it around like, why was this done for her? Why was this done for me? And I can tell you, there are times that I will pull stuff out and go, oh, I see what she's gotten. Oh, I see what I've gotten. Oh my gosh. And I mean, you have to flip it around. And the minute you do, the world is happening for you. It's conspiring in your favor, because it's really easy to go, hey, a bear is attacking on a core level. I need to defend and protect, and everything's bad and everything's wrong because this is our genetic, wiring. This is where we go back millennia with.
Right. So good. Okay. So now we talked about matching emotions with feeling.
Right.
And I think that people are probably trying to figure out, what does run your energy mean? Right.
Yes,
So
yes.
the first time I ever heard you do this, it really was such a great space, because it brought me from meditation to a whole new other practice.
Oh,
So
yes.
meditation
Yeah.
can intertwind. You could have a meditation practice and run your energy every single day. It doesn't, don't you agree?
Oh, they don't. Oh, yeah. No, my parents had us learn meditation at a young age. It's meditation is a very different concept. This is a much more, they're both it's funny. They both end up being subconscious, but one is much more being in your subconscious, which is when you're meditating, really getting into that place of being a non-entity. Whereas this is identifying who it is you are and feeling as if you're already there. So this is much more of a conscious tapping into your subconscious, if that makes any sense.
Totally.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
for those of you who are listening while you're driving or you're walking, you might want to pause here, because what we're going to do is going to be a 10-minute run your energy, feel into, what are we going to feel into? A big yes. So whatever you want to be manifesting, you got to be affirming a big yes on whatever it is, and make sure that affirmation, maybe you want to reiterate that the affirmation before the big yes is not a negative connotation. So maybe reaffirm it.
Well, and maybe not even an affirmation. I want you to think about something in your life that you've been trying so hard to have happen, and it's just not been showing up. And you've been, whatever it is, whether it could be physical, like you're, so I want you to lean into, if it's like either you've had health issues and they're going away, or financial things. Maybe you want someone to hire you and you want that job, or you want someone to, as a new customer or a client, or even maybe there's a person in your life that you want to say, yes, I want to marry you, or yes, I want to be, in your life, whoever, whatever it is that you want the yes to, that would just taste and feel so amazing. I want that to be your focus. Okay. So now this is a bit of it's funny. I'm going to do the work, but you have to listen in as if I'm talking to you. I'm talking to everybody out there. I know you get to enjoy this too, Alex, but it's one of those, I want everybody to know that this is for you to enjoy it, as if I want you to think as if you and I are the best of friends, because this is how I'm going to be talking to you, as if you're calling me to tell me something. And all you're going to hear is my side. You're only going to hear me say my side. You can fill in whenever you want on your side. The best way to do it is let me start and you react to my reactions. And don't be surprised if you get emotional. Don't be surprised if you have a grin on your face. Don't be surprised if you feel lit up and on fire and can't go to sleep for the next 3 hours, because the goal is for me to turn on every single switch of happiness and joy inside your body for what it is that you want, so I can get you head and heart aligned by the time I'm done, so that you'll know what it feels like to actually be manifesting in what it is you truly, truly desire. Sound good? Okay, so if you want to, you go ahead and sit down somewhere, close your eyes. And if you want to, you can listen to it while you're driving. But like Alex said, I don't want you to close your eyes while you're driving. You may want to listen to it again later when you can truly just feel into it, okay? Alrighty, so here we go. I want everybody to take a great big deep breath in through the nose, and out through your mouth, in through your nose, and out through your mouth. See if you can feel yourself grounded into the earth. Feel your energy just actually being pulled from your sacrum all the way into Mother Earth. And then it comes back up and back into you. And then you feel the energy from your head going up to the clouds, and then it circles back down with brand new beautiful energy, and you are centered and beautiful and open and expansive to something amazing about to happen. Oh, hey. Oh, it's so great to hear from you. Yeah, it's been so long. What is going on? No, I mean, I knew you were up to something. Like, well, no, you talked to me about that, right? You've been working so hard on that. I know, right? But you said you're having the worst trouble figuring that out. Oh, you figured it out. Okay, great. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's not all. What else? You did what? No way. You didn't. No, I mean, you really did that? What gave you the courage to do that? I love it. You're awesome. And what happened? They what? They wanted more? So what did you do? Okay, and okay, so you brought that to them and you did this. And they said yes. They said yes. But I mean, like, to just some of it. To all of it? No. Like all of it. Like every little all of it? No way. No way. That's amazing. That's awesome. You're kidding me. Like, no, but like this is the thing you've wanted like for so long, like forever. Like, no, we've been talking about this how long? I know, right? Forever. Wait, and it happened. It happened. You're kidding me, right? No, no way. That's awesome. Oh my God, I'm so excited for you. That's oh my God, I'm so happy for you. But I mean, like, what does this mean? Like, it changes everything, doesn't it? Like everything. Like now that thing you wanted to do, it's like it's open. It's possible. It's already happening. You're this is awesome. Oh my gosh, like, are you like through the moon? Like, this is better than anything you've ever thought of. Like, I mean, like, I have chills up and now. Like, I think I'm even having a hot flash. This is insane. No way. Oh my gosh, like this is we have to get together. We have to celebrate. This is insane. Oh my gosh. Yes, you did it. This is like you've been trying for so long. I, I'm totally just shocked and happy and excited for you. Oh my gosh. Like, what are you gonna do with this? Like, doesn't this change everything for you? Isn't like your whole life like it's different, right? It totally changed. Like, I feel like you're looking in a different direction than you were before. And everything's just like, is it like happening? Oh, it's showing up for you. There's more. Like it's just happening one after the other. Like everything's just showing up. Wow. Oh my goodness. Like this is phenomenal. Like this is like everything we talked about and we dreamed of for years. Like we've been talking about this. And I bet you thought this was never going to happen, right? Right? You totally believed it was never gonna happen. Me too. I kind of believed it too. To be honest, that was but wow, like you totally brought this to your. I can't believe this. Like, what are we gonna do to celebrate this? This is huge. This is amazing. Oh, I'm so excited for you. It's like the best news ever. Oh my gosh. Like, I mean, it's been something you've been thinking about for just years. Oh my gosh. 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 That's fantastic. Wow. Wow. Holy moly. Holy moly. That's crazy. Oh, and there's more? That's not enough? Like, I haven't had enough of a heart attack. What else? That too? That too? And on top of what? You're kidding me. You're kidding me. You doubled your money? Like they're giving you more money, more like that was, you're kidding me. Like, that's fantastic. That takes like another thing off your plate. What do you live like the best life ever? My gosh, this is amazing. Oh my gosh, like all those, like you paid everything off? Like all the bills, like all the worries. They're gone? It's gone. There's no more. Oh, honey, I'm so happy for you. That's awesome. I was always so concerned and so worried, and it's just taken care of. Oh my gosh. What else are you going to draw on now? What else are you going to bring to you? This is phenomenal. This is tremendous. Can we go out and have dinner? Because I totally want to celebrate this. Like, I have to see you. Like, I want to hug you. This is huge. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. I know you're so busy now. You got to go. Okay. I'll talk to you later. I love you. Bye.
Oh my gosh, Heidi, you're bringing me back. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And you know what's so good about it, you guys? That maybe you're feeling a little bit uneasy because it's too much joy and too much
Right.
overstacked because we weren't conditioned to celebrate. We weren't conditioned to feel good about bragging in a way about things that
Yes.
are happening in our life.
Now, the other thing that's really intriguing, I'm so glad you brought this up, Alex, is that we don't understand that, believe it or not, fear and excitement are the exact same energy with different outcomes. You could sit there and go, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I could get in a car accident, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Or you could say, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I just got there really fast, and it was so fun, and we had the best time, and we drove down the Autobahn in the best car. It was so fun. Or we get an accident. It's the same. If you think about how it feels to be afraid of something or something great happening, it's a very similar energy, but whether or not it's going to be something that happens is good for you or bad for you is really where you get stuck. So it took me a long time to get comfortable with it. I usually end up shaking, literally shaking, and I have to question, am I scared or am I excited?
That's so good. I love that. And it's true, living in that space of excitement, because they are really this very, very, very stimulus. It's the same thing, like you said. It's amazing. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy you came on here to share your amazing energy and the work that you do. And for anybody who's coming on here and want to know more about Heidi and what she does in terms of work, I'm going to put everything in the show notes. So not only her website and her email where you can contact her, and of course the bio that I mentioned earlier, but I want to thank you for your time today, Heidi, because there's so much fundamental. I think the whole world needs to learn more and more and more and more about this, because
fun is essential. We've lost a lot of our fun, and we've lost a lot of our connection with the emotions. I think you're right. And I think a lot of the things that I see that are making things harder in life for us are all attached to those simple little things that we learned in preschool.
100%.
I talk about the difference between a 5-year-old and an adult, the way they think is, it's really, if we could go back to our inner child, and not like therapy inner child, but truly fun and having fun, it could change the planet.
Yeah. And when you brought me back to inner child work, I was like, just like dancing in my living room with my kids,
Right.
and feeling into the joy of it all. Right.
Right.
And the 50, and maybe before we leave, the last thing is feeling into 15 minutes of joy for even if whatever circumstances you're living right now. One of the things that Heidi really emphasizes on is the 15-minute bubble of joy. So maybe you want to just go over that real quick.
Right. Well, bubble of joy, it's funny because I've had people who get really angry at me when I give them this as an assignment. It's a very simple thing. Bubble of joy is really important, actually. And it's funny. I'm wondering if I should do bubble of joy or go throughout. I'll do bubble of joy. It's funny. The reason why we do bubble of joy is because we do want to get you back into this 5-year-old mindset. And the reason why we do is because it actually takes you right into manifesting, just so we know to begin with, because it's really important to understand that as an adult, we think things difficult. Whereas a child, we play, have fun, create something amazing, and draw things in the flow into us and manifesting. So that's why it's important to go into this 15 minutes of bubble of joy. And it's really about you getting clear on what it is that would make you feel good. So it's basically, you start by kind of taking your head off. The way you take your head off is you write down everything that your brain is thinking about what has to get done, all these things, because it is really hard to have fun when there's work to be done.
Right.
So instead, what we do is we write everything down on a page. And then once we've written everything down, so you say, okay, great, I will come back to you in 15 minutes. I won't have to worry about thinking about you, all these things that have to get done. And I even keep the pen and paper near me, because thoughts will still come up when I'm in my bubble of joy, but I don't want to have to think them through, but I want to be able to make sure I've got them for after my 15 minutes. So once you've done that, you then get to question, okay, great. I start with very basic, broad brushstrokes, because it's really hard for me to go, be happy, on cue. Be happy. And you're like, I can't do that. Nobody can just be happy. It's all fake, right? So instead, we have to relearn how to make yourself happy and how to turn that happy switch back on. So it starts with, okay, big brushstrokes. Where does my body want to be in space? I go with very simple things. Does my body want to be inside or outside? And the way we think about it is kind of like, okay, if you're trying to decide what you want to eat at a restaurant, you look at something, you go, oh, Heidi, what are you going to have? And I'd say, I'm looking at the chicken salad and I'm looking at the steak salad. Do you ever notice when you look at stuff on the menu that your body will react?
Right.
Oh, well, which one do you want? Oh, the chicken salad has goat cheese and it has sun-dried tomatoes and it has a red wine vinaigrette. And that one sounds really delicious. Mouth waters, right? Or the steak, but the steak has blue cheese and it's got these grilled onions and it sounds delicious, but I think I'm going to be too tired because why? Why do I say that? Because I've already tried that on physically. I know it tastes in my mouth, but I also know how my body digests beef versus chicken. So I know I'm going to be tired. So it's the same kind of thing. We're trying it on chicken salad, steak salad kind of thing. Does my body want to be inside or outside? Inside's warm and cozy. I could sit on my couch. I could relax. I could wrap up in a blanket. Outside is cold, or if it's summer, it's too hot, or it's perfectly. So how does it feel to be in that space? Don't think about it. What could I do? How does it feel to just be in that space, inside or outside? Okay, great. I want to be, let's say, outside. Okay, great. Then I get to ask the next big brushstroke. Do I want to sit on my front porch? Do I want to go for a walk? Do I want to get in the car and go somewhere? Now, granted, if it takes more than 15 minutes, you might have to postpone it for another time, but there should be something within that time. And then you say, great, I want to go for a walk. And again, it's chicken salad, steak salad. I want to sit on my front porch. I want to go for a walk. Front porch, how's that feel? Sitting still, there's some sun on there. I could bring my coffee outside. I can enjoy the wind and look at the leaves that are changing colors. Or I could go for a walk and I could actually, see some neighbors, or I could just enjoy the nature. And that feels better. I'm going to go for a walk. Again, it's trying it on for size. And each one, there should be little tiny baby steps. It's like you're going up a set of stairs to find happiness, because we have to keep on checking in how it feels inside of us. This is the key thing with the bubble of joy. We can't make joy happen in our head. We have to reteach our bodies to feel joy. And these are all it is. And I don't know if that's enough to help someone to get there.
Yeah. But I think for me, look, after we get off this recording, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And it's just something that I've implemented in my life. I'm literally going to get off here. I have a book in my hands. I'm just going to go sit out on my balcony, just a 10, 15 minutes and just enjoy. No scrolling, no being caught up with the outer world, just getting caught up in my inner world and how good it feels to feel good.
Bingo. Right? And it's one of those that we don't understand that it's really okay to splurge for 10 to 15 minutes on ourselves every day. This is a splurge.
Yeah, it makes all the world of a difference. So I'm so grateful for your time today, Heidi. And
you're
I'm
so welcome.
People discovered you. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Lots of love to everybody. God bless. Thank you so much for pressing play today and joining me for an episode of Inspired for More. If you loved anything about this episode, make sure to take a print screen and tag me on your Instagram stories. Or better yet, copy the link of the episode, share it with a friend, make sure to be subscribed to the channel for latest episode drop-ins. And remember, if you can be inspired, you are actually meant to inspire others. I'm wishing you the most incredible and blessed day, and I can't wait to see you on the next episode. Take care.